All right, good evening, everybody. We are live here again today with Kira, where we're going to be going over some more American Math Unit Edition. All right. So, last lesson, we covered adding like units. We were practicing adding milliliters together with other milliliters, but today we'll also be diving into adding together units of varying or adding together quantities of varying units, like adding teaspoons and milliliters or tablespoons and centiliters, so on and so forth. Okay? So we'll have some practice with that today, and we'll have Kira here to help explain the different concepts. Okay?
Alright.
So let's hop over into the blackboard. Oh, and Kira, did you want to say hi to everybody?
What's up, guys? Okay, I was eating a Hershey and it just demolished my bottom teeth.
You got enough to share with the class?
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. We're not in person. I can't.
All right. So what we're going to do to get started is we're just going to have a quick review of our pieces, per usual. Here are all of our units inside of this game. We're going to have tablespoons, centiliters, teaspoons, and milliliters. In addition to that, we also have our containers that will hold these units. Milliliters go over here inside of the milliliters dropper. Teaspoons go inside of this teaspoons beaker. Centiliters go inside of the centiliters beaker. And tablespoons go inside of the tablespoon beaker. And as a reminder, whenever one of these quantities get full, for example, if we have a full milliliters dropper like this, what we're going to do is we're going to do a process called, remind us, Kira, what's the process called?
Clear and carry.
Very good. We're going to clear out the milliliter droppers and carry in a teaspoon. If you're doing this in real life, we would visualize that as literally pouring the 5 milliliters inside of the teaspoon beaker, which would then give us 1 teaspoon. All right. Same thing goes, for example, if we have a centiliter and a teaspoon. This process works for every container as it starts to get full. We're going to, because this centiliters area is full and this teaspoon beaker is full, so we're going to clear both of these groups and carry them into tablespoons. We're just pouring each of these beakers inside of tablespoons so that they have somewhere to fit. All right. So, with all that in mind, we're ready to get started. To review, let's go ahead and do a simple addition puzzle like this. So let's add 5 milliliters plus 4 milliliters. All right. So what we would do for this puzzle, and also feel free to pause now. Oh, I forgot to say, make sure that you pull out your game pieces and so you can play along. Pull out your snap block cubes or cut out some sheets of paper so you can follow along with us. All right. So if we wanted to do this puzzle, 5 milliliters plus 4 milliliters, it would be very simple for us. All we would need to do is look at the milliliters. We just want to place the first number and then add the second number to it. So let's start out with the first number. We have 5 milliliters. 5 milliliters can be represented with a teaspoon. We can count it out here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 milliliters inside of a teaspoon. So we just pull that milliliter out and pour that into our teaspoon beaker. All right, now we have 4 milliliters. Now a teaspoon is too big. It gives us one too many 4 milliliters. It gives us one too many. Ooh, tongue twisters. It gives us one too many milliliters in the teaspoon. So instead, we're just going to drag out 4 milliliters and we can count up 1, 2, 3, 4, which would give us a value of 9 milliliters. Okay? So let's go through another puzzle. Kira, what would we do if we wanted to add 3 milliliters plus 6 milliliters? How would we place that?
I got you.
Oh, I need
So
to
let
give
me
you
go.
remote control. Boom, there you go. Have fun.
Here we are. Does it work? Hold on. There we go. All right, we got it. So let's start off. First, we're going to start off with 3 milliliters. So we'll grab our individual milliliter pieces because a tablespoon's too big. That holds 15 milliliters. A centiliter holds 10 and a teaspoon holds 5. So we have to go down to our milliliters. So what I'm going to do is turn to my mouse and I'm going to drag 3 individual milliliters into our dropper. So it will be 1, 2, 3, and that will be the first half. And for the second half, we have 6 milliliters. So what we're going to do is, we know, first off, a teaspoon holds 5. We know 5 can go into 6 once. So we're going to go and drag our teaspoon into the teaspoon beaker, and then we just need 1 more milliliter. So what we're going to do is add 1 milliliter to the dropper, giving us 1 teaspoon and 4 milliliters.
Excellent. We are blazing through it today. So, if we're moving right along, we are going to, let me go ahead and get our play space clear. Now let's do a little bit more challenging of a puzzle. Let's add together 7 milliliters plus 5 milliliters. All right. Kira, help us out with how we can add these two units together using the clear carry system.
Okay. So let's begin with, where you go, 7 milliliters. All right. So first off, we know a tablespoon's too big. Oh, it's the same color. Okay.
Let me help you out with changing that. There we go. Actually, I'm going to give you pink. You like pink. Go ahead and give that a shot. Oops.
Let me see. Oh.
There you go.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Let me go back. All right, we got pink. So let's start off with 7 milliliters. All right, so first we know a centiliter is too big. It's close enough, but it's 10. It doesn't go into 7. So what we would do is jump down to our teaspoons. All right, now that holds 5 milliliters, so that can go into 7 once. So let me move that over. That's 5 milliliters, and now we need to add 2 more. All right, so what we can do is add 1, 2, and now we're going to move over and mess with our 5 milliliters. Now, an additional 5 milliliters is another teaspoon, but we can't fit that or else it's going to spill out and overflow all over the floor, and then we're going to lose our precious medicine or create a hole in the floor, whichever one it is in there. So what we're going to do is we're going to clear the teaspoon. First, we're going to have these two together. We're going to clear the teaspoons, the 2 teaspoons. Oh, I need that. I need to put that back, y'all. It's okay. We're not going to mess with it too much. All right, so we're going to clear these 2 teaspoons and carry in the centiliter so it can fit in the centiliter beaker. And that'll be our clear and carry process. So then that would leave us with 1 centiliter and 2 milliliters.
Excellent. And how many milliliters do we have in total?
In milliliters, we have 5, 10. We know there's 10 in centiliters, and then plus 2, that'd be 12. So we have 12 milliliters in total.
Excellent.
Let me get those back real quick. Boom. Hold on. I gotta deselect. You know, here's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna, there we go. We're not gonna mess with that anymore. I'm just gonna drag that over there. But
Perfect.
boom, 12 milliliters or 1 centiliter and 2 milliliters. There we go.
Excellent. Way to get that worked out. All right. Let's keep it moving. So that was an excellent explanation on how we use the clear carry system, but now I have a little challenge for everyone. Like I said earlier at the beginning of the lesson, we've only been adding together like units right thus far. We've only been adding milliliters to milliliters. But what if we throw in a little curveball like this. What if we said we wanted to add 2 teaspoons plus 6 milliliters? All right. Now, one might be a little confused and say, oh no, first we need to start the conversion so that we can get them both to look the same. But thankfully, thanks to this Bitrix system in this game, we don't have to do that. All we need to do is place the values we see. Okay? We're going to start out with 2 teaspoons. So we'll bring that into the play space. We can bring out 1 teaspoon, and then we can bring out a 2nd teaspoon. But oh, if we put another teaspoon in here, we risk putting a hole through the floor. So we can't do that. So instead, we're going to clear both of these units, clear both of those teaspoons, and then carry in a centiliter. So now we can see, hey, 2 teaspoons make up 1 centiliter. Interesting. All right. We'll keep on moving along. So, next up is 6 milliliters. Now, we have 2 ways of doing this. We can either count it out by going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll use clear carry to get a teaspoon. And then carry in our last one of 6 milliliters. That is 100% correct. If you feel comfortable doing that, then just go ahead and count it out. Or we can take the shortcut because we know that 6 is 1 more than 5. So we'll just go ahead and start out by taking a little shortcut, dragging in 1 teaspoon and 1 milliliter to get our 6 milliliters like that. And then we might think we're done, but not quite yet, because you see over here, we still have a centiliter and a teaspoon that are full. So we'll go through the process. What's it called?
Clear and carry.
Very good. If we got to clear our centiliter and our teaspoon, and then carry in a tablespoon. Now we're left with 1 tablespoon, 1 milliliter, which gives us, which is also the same as 15 milliliters put together with 1 milliliter, which is 16 milliliters. So our answer is 16 milliliters, like that. All right, 2 teaspoons put together with 6 milliliters is 16 milliliters. Let's move on to another one, okay? Let's do 1 tablespoon plus 1 teaspoon. All right. Now, same deal. One might say, hey, we have to get them to look the same and we need to convert them out first. Nope. We were jumping ahead of ourselves. We just want to take it one step at a time by placing the first number. So the first unit is 1 tablespoon. So let's go ahead and drag that out into the play space. We pour in 1 tablespoon inside of the tablespoon beaker. Next up is 1 teaspoon. So what we'll do is we'll just drag out 1 teaspoon and pour it inside of our teaspoon beaker. And just like that, we're finished. We don't need to pour anything into anything else because this teaspoon beaker is fine. We don't need to pour it into the centiliters yet. And the tablespoon is full, but we have no need to pour this into anything else yet. So all that we're left with is 1 tablespoon, 1 teaspoon. Now, the brilliance of this system too is, let's say, for example, you're working in your chemistry lab or in the kitchen and you don't have any tablespoon measuring cups. Let's just say you dropped it down the drain by accident. The benefit of this system is that we can look here and we can see the units inside of each other. So we can see, hey, we have 1, 2, 3 teaspoons inside of 1 tablespoon. 3 teaspoons. And then over here in teaspoons, we see that we have 1 teaspoon. So 1 tablespoon plus 1 teaspoon, it does equal 1 tablespoon and 1 teaspoon, but it also equals 4 teaspoons. All right. Same thing goes, let's say, for example, we only have centiliters. I'm going to show you a little trick. for how we would find centiliters. Because right now, let me clear
Mm-hmm.
my annotations. This centiliters beaker is empty. How are we going to get centiliters here? What we can do is we can break these groups apart into smaller groups so we can reorganize them later. All right. So what we can do is, let's say, for example, this centiliters beaker is cut off here so that it matches up with centiliters, right? And I'll write down centiliters. What we can do is we can break this tablespoon into 3 teaspoons. So now they're loose and we can reorganize them. So what we'll do is we can pour 1 teaspoon into centiliters, pour another teaspoon into centiliters, and then we have 1 centiliter, which leaves these other 2. So we can pour 1 teaspoon into our second centiliter beaker, and then pour another teaspoon into our second centiliter beaker, which leaves us with 2 centiliters.
Okay.
So 1 tablespoon plus 1 teaspoon is also the same as 2 centiliters. So this allows it to be very flexible for no matter what utensil or what beaker you have at any given moment. This can help you with these conversions. So as long as you have one of them, you can figure it out. Okay?
Okay.
Do we have any questions on this thus far?
No, you explained this well.
Excellent. So Kira, we're going to give you a little puzzle. Let's say
All
for
right. Mm-hmm.
perfect time.
Cool. Mm-hmm. Technical logic issues still.
Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3.
I hear you.
Okay, perfect.
Up and now you're out again.
All right, can you hear me?
I can now.
Perfect. All right, so we're going to keep it moving. Kira's going to walk us through some... What is that?
Hmm.
Oh, it was nothing. So Kira, let's say, for example, you're over there making some breakfast, and
Mm-hmm.
actually, let me look this up real quick so we can try to keep it as applicable as possible. Substitute.
We're out again with the mic.
No, we're not. I'm just quiet. Sorry about that.
That was I was like, you must be out again.
No, I'm here. I'm here. Excuse my absence. I was trying to figure something out, but we're not gonna do that. So, Kira, let's just say, for example, you're working in the kitchen and you're working on a cake or some type of dessert, and you need to combine 3 teaspoons of baking soda with
Mm-hmm.
6 milliliters of vinegar. All right. Let's just say, for example, we're not worrying about exactly what quantities they are. That might have been overcomplicating it, even mentioning them. Let's just focus on the quantities. I want you to walk us through how we would do this addition puzzle. All right.
Okay. So first, let me walk us through this real quick. We're about to zoom. All right. So first we got 3 teaspoons. Did I get? Hold on. I would like to walk us through it. Oh, there we go. We're back at it. So we have 3 teaspoons. Now, 3 teaspoons is also equal to tablespoons. Here we can see it's be 1. Oh, we're back at the blue color again.
Go ahead.
B. All right. It's still a blue.
Okay, let me get this mixed up. There we go. Old Bessie,
All right.
she's getting a little old.
Ooh. All right. Oh, yes, I love this vibrancy. All right, so we have 1 teaspoon, 2 teaspoons, and 3 teaspoons. So that'll be a tablespoon. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab our tablespoon. Wait, hold on, guys. Technical issues. There we go. So we're going to grab our tablespoon and put them into the tablespoon beaker because 3 tablespoons is equivalent to 3 teaspoons is equivalent to 1 tablespoon. There we go. And next, we're going to go over to our milliliters. So as here, we have 6. So we know 6 is 1 more than 5, which is our teaspoon. So we know that it would just be 1 teaspoon. Uh-oh, I pulled that. My bad, guys. That'd be 1 teaspoon and 1 milliliter. So then that would give us 1 tablespoon, 1 teaspoon, and 1 milliliter. And then boom, that'd be
Excellent.
the answer.
Now, let's say, for example, you only have 1 teaspoon. You only have 1 teaspoon spoon in your drawer. The rest of them got lost somewhere. So how would you measure this out if you only had 1 teaspoon?
Okay, so if I had 1 teaspoon and lost all my beakers or measuring cups somehow, this is what I would do. Well, that means I lost a dropper too, right? Okay.
Let's say that you have a teaspoon and a dropper. You don't have centiliters or tablespoons.
All right. So in this case, let me undo. Okay. So in our case, we only have a teaspoon and a dropper, and we can measure this out. So first, we know that we need 3 teaspoons. So what we could do is count up, because there's nothing wrong with counting up, with our dropper to get it exact. So we could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 milliliters. And then what we would do is we'd carry that all the way across our little kitchen. Okay. And then we drop that into our teaspoon little cup right there. All right. And then once we clear that, which is also our clear and carry method, we'll clear and then carry in our teaspoon and put it into whatever pot we have. All right. So we know that our pot right now, if we move that over there, would have 1 teaspoon in there. Okay. Hold on. Now we go back. We know that we dumped that out. That's 1 teaspoon. So then we do that again. We'd count up from milliliters so we can get the exact measurement with our dropper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not keeping up with me. That's okay. And then we repeat the process 2 more times to get 3 teaspoons. So let's say that we already did that. So we carry this in. That'd be teaspoon number 2. We'll put that in there. Hold on. That's the second one. My controls are refusing to work. There we go. That's 2 teaspoons. And then we do that one last time. Drag in our milliliters. Uh-oh, I did something. All right, we'll drag in our milliliters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Carry it to our teaspoons. Turn it. We'll carry it to our teaspoon beaker. Slap that in there. And then we'll put it into the pot. And boom, we'll have 3, weirdly enough, teaspoons of vinegar for some reason. Why do we have that? I don't know. But we do. So
It's 3 teaspoons of baking soda.
Oh, baking soda. Okay.
Yeah, 6 milliliters of vinegar.
All right. I don't know how to make cake, so it still seems weird to me. But yeah. So 3 teaspoons, and now we move on to 6 milliliters. Now, from our milliliter dropper, we know that 5 is a teaspoon, and we have 6. So we know that's one more than a teaspoon. So we know that we slap a teaspoon in there. Boom. Oh, wait, but I forgot a step. Also, 3 teaspoons is also a tablespoon. So in the pot right now could be measured as 1 tablespoon. The,
So remember, we don't have a tablespoon beaker.
Ah, you're right. All right. Well, completely ignore that right now. Okay. But just know it would be indeed a tablespoon if we did have it. But right now we have 3 teaspoons. We're going to go over 6 milliliters. We know 6 is one more than 5. And from our dropper, we know that, well, I want to change. We know that 5 drops or 5 milliliters is a teaspoon. So once we do that, we'll convert it again. We'll clear and carry in our teaspoon. Slap that into the pot once more. So now we have a total of 4 teaspoons. And then we just need 1 more milliliter. So we'll add that into our droplet. Boom. We'll drag that, into our dropper. Yes, we'll drag the droplet into our dropper and just carefully carry that extra tiny little drop into our pot because, we don't want to lose it. And then boom, that'd be in there. So then we'd have a total of 4 teaspoons in 1 milliliter.
Excellent. So beforehand,
Oh.
hold up. I wanna hold on to this for a second.
Okay.
What? There we go. Oh, you control Z that. Okay. So what we started out with is that we had 1 tablespoon, 1 teaspoon, and 1 milliliter. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And what Kira did is she created a virtual pot or container to put all these teaspoons in. So she started out by pouring in 1 tablespoon, and 1 tablespoon has how many teaspoons in it?
3 teaspoons.
Very good. So she filled it up to this line here for 3. And then how many teaspoons are in a teaspoon?
1 teaspoon.
There you go. I know that seems a little easy. There's a reason for it. So then we drop the teaspoon in, and then we have 1 milliliter dropper left over that we put in as well. All right. So we can even see visually that inside of 1 tablespoon and 1 teaspoon are 4 teaspoons. So if you're missing your tablespoon, ooh, that one was not right. I forgot how to count for a second.
Good.
So if you're ever missing your tablespoon beaker or tablespoon spoon, then or centiliters, then you can just go ahead and measure out in teaspoons everything that you need. All right.
Yeah, I've done this a few times when making food. I forgot what I did it with. But yeah, we had to improvise. We didn't have the specifics, so Yeah.
Perfect. Then I'm glad we made it relevant. That's what was important. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go ahead and get one more knocked out. Kira, I want you to blaze through this one as fast as you can, okay? Let's go ahead and do 14 milliliters plus milliliters. Ooh, that one was written wrong. Plus 2 teaspoons. Help us out with this.
Okay, make it comfortable. So first we have 14 milliliters. Now, let me go do that. We know that 14 is 1 less than 15. So looky here. There is a way I could do this, but I'm gonna do it the way you guys understand. Or can I do both? Can I do both?
Sure. Yeah, do both.
Okay. All right. So with 14 milliliters, we know that that's 1 less than 15. All right, and then we have plus 2 teaspoons. We already know that it's going to be greater than 15, right? So for me, if you're a little ahead of this already, all right, we know
Actually,
that
let
we
me
can
slow you
already,
down. Let me slow you down. Actually, no. Do it the other way first.
Lord, help. All right,
I didn't know
all right,
that's what
guys,
you
we're not,
meant.
all right, y'all. So we're going to do it the standard, but we're going to blaze through it. So first we got 14 milliliters, right?
Yep.
So we know 15 can't fit into 14, even though they're that close. But we can go the next down and do centiliters, which is 10 milliliters. So what we can do is we can drag that into our centiliter beaker. So let me grab it down there. And then we need 4 more milliliters. So we're going to go to our droplets and put in 4. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we're done with that. So then we go over to 2 teaspoons. 2 teaspoons is also another centiliter. But the problem is, oh, were you going to say something?
Nope.
All right. So 2 teaspoons is also a centiliter. So the issue we have is that our centiliter beaker is already full. So what we can do is move our centiliters over to the tablespoon beaker and then drag out another centiliter. And then that could give us our answer. But wait, we could also break up this centiliter into 2 teaspoons. So let me do that. So that'd be 1, 2. So then we can take one of these teaspoons, put that over into our tablespoons. Boom, we have a tablespoon, and then drag the final one into our teaspoon, giving us 1 tablespoon, 1 teaspoon, and 4 milliliters.
Excellent.
Also, the way I was about to do it at first was actually a little crazy because as I was doing the second way, I was like, wait, it wasn't about to go how I intended it to go. Because I was thinking of it as if it was already, what, 15 in a way. I don't know how. I was just mixing 2 steps up in one. So that was just to make it more complicated.
We'll talk
And
about it, but I want to
well,
make sure that we get the family closed out first. All right. So Kira, you did an excellent job with
all
this.
right.
I do want to show another way of doing it is that so if we start out with 14 milliliters, we'll start out by dragging out 2
Mm-hmm.
milliliters into the centiliter space because we can look inside of it and see that we have 10 milliliters in the centiliter. And then we can drag out our 4 milliliters into the dropper. Boom. Next, we need to add 2 teaspoons. Now, one might be a little confused and say, well, the centiliters place is already
Mm-hmm.
full. How are we supposed to add two teaspoons into it if the centiliters is already full? Well, we'll move back a space. Instead of starting in centiliters, we're going to start over here in teaspoons. What we'll do is we'll drag out 1 teaspoon, but now teaspoons is filled. So we have a very helpful process called clear carry we can use where we can clear both of these units and carry in a tablespoon. Another way we can visualize it is imagine just pouring the centiliters into the tablespoon beaker and pouring the teaspoon into the tablespoon beaker. Just like that. So now our centiliters and our teaspoon beakers are clear. How many more teaspoons do we have to add into the play space? Remind me, Kara?
I just got back into the meeting. What happened?
Okay. So now that we've cleared everything into the tablespoons beaker, by adding
Mm-hmm.
in 1 teaspoon over here, just a quick review, we have our 14 milliliters. We add 1 teaspoon, a part of this 2 teaspoons up here, half of this 2 teaspoon group. So then we
Okay.
carry that out into the tablespoons beaker. So now how many more teaspoons do we need to add?
We only need 1 more teaspoon, which would be perfect to fit into our teaspoon beaker.
Exactly. Just add 1 more teaspoon into the teaspoons beaker, and we get our answer of 3 tablespoons. Not 3 tablespoons. 1 tablespoon, 1 teaspoon, and 4 milliliters.
There we go.
100%. All right.
Your face.
So that's going to conclude today's lesson. Hope you had fun. We ran a little overtime a little bit, but we're all still good. Everyone did great today. Make sure you go back and get some more practice in, and then we'll hop back in tomorrow with some more fun activities. Okay?
All
All
right.
right. Sounds like a
Start
plan.
learning.
Happy learning, everyone.
Mm, 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 mm.
You gonna send us out with a happy learning, Kira?
Go. Oh, I did.
Oh,
Is my
I
hand
didn't hear
bad?
you.
Happy learning.
Okay.